This is Sheen on the scene here in what? Can you believe it? I'm here in Charlotte doing my thing. I took off my waist trainer because what? Ugh. I was like, you see the results? You see the results? Just gotta work on my eating. But yeah, it's something else. I'm out of nature. I love being around the abundance. Look at all this. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. So I gave myself time. You know, sometimes you got to get out of the house. So I got out of the house today. Gotta make sure my rose ain't showing, y'all. But yeah, I just had to get out of the house. Supposed to be chilling and stuff like that. But things are really nice. And I'm looking forward to a lot of things coming up in my life. I've been working on a lot of projects, so you will be seeing them coming forth soon. And I'm so happy and grateful for the people that has come into my life to assist me on my journey and stuff like that. Like, I've been watching Bag, which is Black Acres of the Gambia. I've been watching Water Maya, Eat, Love, Migrate. And for those of you that are new to the channel, this is Sheen. Sheen's cookie jar. I'm over here giving out the loveness and the sweetness. But this is something that I found myself doing a lot, and come to find out, my mom likes to do the same exact thing. She likes to go in the forest and just chill out, and I thought it was just me, but sometimes I find myself doing a lot of stuff that my mom does, and it's just been an interesting time that we're all going through. It's just like you have to look at the mental aspect. Like, a lot of our thoughts has been challenged. A lot of things that we think about or that we thought was the things that had to be for us to live, and it really isn't. Like, you have a lot of people. I like to socialize. I was like, yeah, I got my makeup artist, I got my hairstylist, and I just needed me a person to, get my style right. You can't be out here half stepping and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, I found a stylist, so I still got to link up with her. And there's a lot of other things that I wanted to do to level up my own life. And it's funny because it's just like everybody's always talking about level up this, level up that. And I'm like, only leveling up I could do for myself personally is to level up myself onto the standards that I want. Now, everybody's standards of leveling up is different. But for the most part, it's just like, I know my bones, as they call it in the South. I'm big boned. These bones ain't going anywhere. And it's just crazy because all my life I always tried to make sure I had the right this, right that. Like, I don't have an issue with men. It just, it is what it is. Whoever's going to be in your life is going to be there. And one of the things that I found that a lot of people look for things out of other people. Like, you can't live your life based off of what somebody else says or what somebody else wants to do. But you have to live your life according to what you want to happen. Because I was just like, I had to work and go through a lot of things in my life to get where I am at right now. But I've always tried to make sure I had a drama-free life. Like, I don't need drama in my life. I just want peace, love, and happiness. So there's a lot of things that happen in life, and sometimes they happen for reasons and you just don't understand. But like right now, I really have an urge to get back to my home country, my home tribe. I am of Mafa descent, and it's funny because it's just like, a lot of the stuff that I find myself doing, I found a lot of stuff in my tribe. And one of the things, I'm always finding myself in a mountain or I'm working on a mountain or going places where there are mountains to hike and stuff like that. So a part of my journey, like, I really want to, once the borders get open up, I want to go back and, contribute to my tribe and contribute to bringing, putting my input or putting my little stamp and leaving my legacy there in Africa. And also, I love connecting with people. I love socializing. So if you're new to this channel, this is Sheen. I'm always out somewhere doing something. I'm a traveler by habit, well, just by natural, because I just like to get out. Like, yo, I like to be free. And it's funny, but it's just like I like being out doing stuff. And, you know, most of the time I find myself by myself, but then it's always somebody nice that comes along and say hi to me and all this other stuff. So it'd be nice, you know. It is what it is. It's just like whatever vibe you're putting out, that's what you're gonna get back. But for the most part, you know, people always run into me and stuff like that. So, but I'm just so happy that I got my projects going. I got my plan developed, what I want to do in Africa, and I found the key people that I need to get along with. I can't wait to get to Africa. I can't wait to start my projects. And I've been linking up with so many people. Like, I talked to a lot of people from over there in Africa, and it's just so nice, you know, just to connect with people. And it's just like I'm connecting. Like, what I found, I'd rather connect with people that's gonna connect with me. It's like I've always found myself, you know, the oddball, but I'm always a character too. But sometimes me having all this energy, cause what? I'll be like, break it down for you in a second. But it's just like my energy is so freaking high, and it is what it is. I only vibe with certain people, and I just like have a good time. Like, yo, for real, I really love having a good time, and I like people that are doing stuff with themselves. So, and people that like to get out and do stuff. Like, I can't be in the house too long. But for the most part, it's been so fun connecting with other people on through the internet. Like, I'm so grateful and thankful that we have that linkage where we could just talk to each other. And that's the main thing right now, is that, you know, get around people that you want to talk to or be with. And you never know where the road is gonna go, but it's just like I talked to a few people and they're just like the funniest people ever, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And it's just like how, regardless of where you are in society or where you are around the world, everybody has their way of experiencing life. Now, either you choose to be upset all the time, you're gonna always be upset all the time. I just choose to be happy. I was like, yo, I always try to find a silver lining, and you know, it is what it is. You're not always gonna be peachy cream all day, you know, peachy and peaky, like, oh, this is this and that is that, I gotta make myself happy. Life doesn't always go like that, so it is what it is. But I'd rather be around people that's doing stuff, people that is motivated to get things done. And it's not like I'm looking at leaving a legacy in Africa, but also making a hit where people, we all could get together and just communicate and have a good time. Because, you know, it is what it is. We all are African, and most of us have the same similarities. Some of us like a good drink, some of us like to have a good family moment, have a good family time and socialize. And then, you know, we always into fashion. You know, you always got to show out your nice little fit. So it is what it is. So I'm just connecting the dots, connecting with people that enjoy life, that just vibe. Like, it's really, because I know if I'm around somebody and, you know, they go left, it's just because their energy is either not right, or, you know, sometimes I trigger people. I understand it, you know. I'm not for everybody, but it's okay, it's so cool. But I'm just out. I like to be in nature. Like, I'm like deep in the forest right about now. But look, it's a beautiful creek, lake, whatever you want to call it. This thing is beautiful. And then it's just like birds flying. I done seen a lot of black butterflies around, and I was just like, wow, I never seen black butterflies to the magnitude. You know, I never really seen them interacting out in nature, and I was just like, wow. I wish I could have recorded it, but it's like my quality wasn't too well at that point. But it's just so beautiful being out. listening to the birds and stuff like that, just chilling. And this is just me. I'm like, this is abundance. Look at all this abundance around. Look at all this green. You know, people say they don't have any money. Look at all this green. It's green. But this is Sheen. I'm just over here chilling. Had to get out the house. You know, usually when you exercise, it clears up your mind. It clears up the fog. It clears up a lot of stuff. And then, you know, you change your chemistry. But it is what it is, baby. I'm having a great time. And I hope that you got out and you doing your thing. And, you know, you just do you. Because it is what it is at the end of the day. I'm just here recording. I hope I brought some kind of light to you. And just get out of nature. Just do what you do. It was a book I was reading. I forgot her name, but I will link it below. It was one of the black actresses. I can't think of her name right now, but it's basically, she said, always get around a place where it's water and land and make your wishes whatever. So my wish is to bring financial balance back into Africa in certain spots. I can't say the word, but I can make a hit. All you need is the faith of the size of a mustard seed. All you need is mustard seed. All you need is to get things rolling, and everybody else will just go ahead and get on board. Hello. But that's the thing. It's just like you get people that, you know, you might, when you out here, it's just basically not everybody is gonna vibe with you, and not everybody wants to be on board with you. It's like people, they like the after effects of it, but they don't want to go through the process with you. So it's just basically, if you ain't really trying to go through the process, okay, you want to be on the inside, all right, you get, you know, you be where you be at. But for the most part, I'm just ready to go and do what I need to do to make my contribution. And it's just like these moments and these times has really opened up my eyes to the reality of everything. Like, you know, it's like all these spells have been lifted, and I released all the spells that was cast on my mind, on my life, on my mental, and on my subconscious. Because here it is, like when you look at it, and whatever date that everything started happening, where, you know, they said 1776. Well, yeah, that was when Christopher Columbus came over here into the United States. And it wasn't even the United States then. And then Christopher Columbus was what, you know, from Spain, whatever, where he's from. And the thing is, that was when Africa went through a hell of a period. So to bring a people from all the way from Africa over into America, into something that, a condition and living that we had no clue about, that does something to you. And it's just like when you're forced to think and believe of somebody's thoughts on you, like you were told to be poor, you were told that you were never going to amount to something. And I know it's a lot of people that could you know, that understood or can, you know, kind of connect with this, because I've heard many times when you in school or you in places and people say that you can't do something, or you would never make it this place, or you would never would make it that place, and they only saying it because of the color of your skin, and people don't understand that. And a lot of times people come to me, they're like, well, what's your thoughts on it? It's just like a lot of this stuff that's happening right now goes back from centuries of what's happening. I mean, slavery just didn't happen in America. Slavery even happened, enslavement happened here in America, but slavery happened way back in Egypt when, who was that? The Romans went into Egypt and captured the Egyptians, and you was captured to what, basically build Italy. You were captured to build Spain. You were captured to build all these parts of the world, but you're erased in certain parts. You know, they couldn't erase it because it's like it was a Moorish stamp on certain parts, where it's just like they just left their stamp on that particular part of the world. But when you look at all of that, And then you look at what has happened here in Americas, and people are just like, well, I don't understand this and I don't understand that. Well, when you look at Tuskegee, the Tuskegee experiment, when you see that African American men were put through sterilization, but also through syphilis, will be inputted with syphilis. You look at that, and everybody's like, well, that happened, so slavery happened so many years ago. But after slavery, look at all what happened. It's just like they're not telling us history from what happened to us, because when you go to school, you're not learning anything about Black history. So when you look in pages, you want to learn about yourself, and you're nowhere to be found but like a paragraph. Like when they talked about slavery, there was just a paragraph and that was it. But we had to make sure we learned about King Louis the 14th and all these, what happened in Parliament, what happened to the judicial and all this other stuff. We learn about that. But when you look for yourself in these educational books, you don't find yourself. So here we go again. You have all of that happening. You have it where Rosewood happened, like in Florida, and that's not the only part that happened into where Blacks was thriving, doing their own little thing. There's Tulsa, Oklahoma. People, you could look at Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, where people were thriving, minding their own business, making a lot of wealth. People got jealous of it, and what they did, they took war vehicles and bombed the area. And they're like, oh, that happened so many years ago. But wait a minute, in Philadelphia, they did the same thing. And here again, it's just like people try to cover stuff up. But, you know, when you go on YouTube and you look at the videos, you see that it was a lot of Italians being really racist towards Blacks. In this northeastern area where everybody thinking that everything is, you know, copacetic, but there was racial tension between the Irish and Blacks. There was racial tension between Italians and Blacks, and you have racial tensions that's between Jewish people and Black even until this day. So it's just like, let's not, you know, just try to wipe everything on the rug like, oh, this is not happening. And then it's just like, you know, you have it where we read the story of Anne Frank and what happened in with the Jews in the concentration camps. But then it's just like, yeah, there were concentration camps here in America, but oh, just because you're Jewish, I should overlook what happened to my people. I don't think that's right. But it's just like, if you're going to talk about concentration camps, or you're going to talk about this evil that happened, talk about it all. Talk about systematic evil. Talk about, y'all seen that, right? Like, all right. Jerk reaction. Like, wait a minute, I know I'm in the forest, but you, let it rain on Joker. But you look at these contexts where, don't overlook my history. Don't overlook the simple fact that it was millions on millions of Africans that said no to slavery and just jumped over the boat, over the ship, and just killed themselves because of what was happening to them. So I cannot overlook my history looking at somebody else's history, because it's just like, it's always somebody want to deflect what's going on within me as a Black person for what they're going through. And I'm just like, wait a minute, what's going on with me is not going on with you at this moment, but what's going on with me is something that I'm dealing with, and you're not going to understand it unless you are a part of what I'm experiencing, or you sharing the same DNA. And it's just like, when you try to explain stuff to people, they have no absolute clue. And then when you try to explain to them what's happening, they still don't get it. So it's just like, if you never have been traumatized, if you never have been hurt, of course you're not going to understand what happened. So what really is going on, well, I could speak for some, I could speak for myself. I'm just speaking for myself at this point. But what has happened generation by generation of this systematic thing that has happened with African Americans, it's in my DNA. I feel what my ancestors went through going through me, because it's just like, some places when I go to, I just get upset and I don't understand why. But when I look around and I start reading stuff, and it's just like, it will piss you off if you had to work free of labor and you've been raped, or you have, been raped either through incest, or you've been raped through, your slave owner or anybody, because it's just like, just for them to cattle breed you like you're animals. Think about it right now. You wouldn't want to go to have sex with just anybody. Come on, let's just be honest. And just like, for the shit the stuff that they had to go through, it's just like, how can you just dismiss that when you share that same DNA? So when you start interacting with certain relationships, that stuff boils up in you and you don't understand it, you don't know it. So that's what I pretty much started doing, was clearing up a lot of my ancestral stuff, doing, burning ancestor money, also having my altar, because I had to go back to my African traditions. African traditions had it where we had a shrine. You might call it an altar. So I make sure, if I'm home, to make sure my altar is filled with food and like a candle, and just showing honor and respect, just like the Asian people do. Most people don't understand it, but it's just like, if you look at Asian movies, like most of us do, in a Kung Fu movie, they have the incense and they have like a little bowl of oranges set up, and they have the picture of the person that they showing honor for. It. Everybody has it in their house. And then what Asian people do around April 14th or 15th, they have a family gathering where they go back and visit to all. Hi, this is Shin over here in the forest. Now, if you like this channel, please like and subscribe. Make sure you like and subscribe, sugar. I gotta get my subscribers up. Y'all know I'm out here in these YouTube streets. I'm trying to get these subscribers now. Come on now. She needed some subscribers. Let me stop. But y'all know what's up. This Shin over here. You see that lake? You see out here in nature? You heard that. It's the birds, the bees, all the sweetness. This is Shin. Please like and subscribe to this channel. This is Shin from Shin's Cookie Jar. Over here giving y'all sweetness, love, a little bit of joy, a little bit of kiki kaka, a little chuckle for you for today. Butter raw. This Shin over and out. It's hot out here. Real hot out here. I think it's time for me to go home. I'm deep in the forest. But this Shin. Like and subscribe.